I just got back from vacation and I thought you might like to see the makeup and beauty products I took with me. I'm getting ready to unpack those things and I thought I'd take you along and show you what I brought, tell you what I used and what I didn't, and share with you one very disappointing product that I think is going to go in the trash. Before we get started, I'm going to put in a little video of the ocean here so you can feel like you were on vacation with me. Hey all, Tina here. Welcome to Beautiful Journey. I am very glad that you've decided to spend a little of your time with me today. As we go along, I'm also going to share a few pictures of our vacation and maybe tell a story or two, but mostly we're just going to talk about the products that I took with me. You may or may not know that we went to Ormond by the Sea in Florida. It's a wonderful spot just north of Daytona. We had a house about a block from the beach that we got off Vacation Rental by Owner, VRBO, and it was perfect. We had 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. There were 8 of us that went along, and there were a few challenges, such as getting 8 people through 2 showers at the end of a day at the beach so that we could all go out to dinner. But we found a system that worked, and it actually went really smoothly. So first I will go through really quickly just the hair and skincare and that sort of thing, toiletry items that I brought. I have this little travel makeup case that my mom gave me for my birthday. I have mentioned in other videos that my mom has been in Mary Kay for a really long time. So she gave me this and it was fantastic. Now, if you don't know somebody who sells Mary Kay, I actually found a really similar one on Amazon, and I'm going to link that down below. That will be an affiliate link. If you happen to click on it and purchase it, I get a couple pennies out of that, and I appreciate that very much. So it closes with Velcro, so here's the Velcro rip. Okay, let me back up so you can see better. It unrolls and it hangs. So there are these 4 clear plastic containers, and these also Velcro and come off. So if you wanted to bring one of these to the vanity with you, you could do that. They expand quite a lot. I'm going to set them down and take them off one at a time and show you what I had in there. The top one was my toothbrush, floss picks, some Band-Aids, my Max silicone earplugs. I use these every night. Get a great night's sleep, and I don't care if my husband snores or not. I generally use one of these and break them in half because one is too big for my ear, and I've been using them for 3, maybe 4 years and love them. The second one is my hair care products and my body wash. I managed to find a sample of the It's a 10 at TJ Maxx when I was there. This was $5.99 for the sample, so I tossed this in. I generally use the Not Your Mother's All Eyes on Me leave-in conditioner, the 10-in-1, and I've thought that it might be a dupe for the It's a 10, but I've never had this, so I couldn't definitively say if it was or not, but it is. And I think I actually like the Not Your Mother's a little bit better than this. I think it does a little bit better job of smoothing my hair and helping with the frizziness. Because we were in Florida, it was hot and humid, I just decided that I was not going to try to straighten my hair, and I just let it curl. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring my curl cream, but I accidentally picked up this travel size of the Tresemme Extra Hold Volumizing Mousse. I thought it was hairspray, but it was mousse, and so it was a happy little accident, and worked out great because then I could use this to scrunch up my curls. And the house that we were staying in had a little basket of toiletries, and in there was a travel size of hairspray, so I was covered. These are not my favorite shampoos, the Garnier Fructis Sleek and Shine, but when I was picking up my travel sizes, it's one that they had, so I just grabbed it, and it's fine for a week. I did pick up a Not Your Mother's Clean Freak dry shampoo, but I never used it because we did beach stuff or touristy stuff, and I just showered every day because I was hot and sweaty. And then an Olay body wash just so that I had a travel size of that. When these are empty, they fold up really, really small. But I love how when you fold up the case, it makes this cube with a handle. Just really kind of ingenious, I think. My next one is mostly skincare. I took my e.l.f. Holy Hydration, CeraVe Foaming Facial Cleanser. I put a small amount of my cleansing balm into this container. This was just an empty one, and so I used that instead of bringing the big tub of the cleansing balm. And right now I'm using the Glow Your Mind from Soap & Glory. My Shell sunscreen, I did not burn on my face. I got a couple of places where I got a little sunburn, like here, or one day I got a little crispy on my shoulders, but I never burned on my face. And I either used this or I used just the spray 50 or even 100 sunscreen and reapplied. I really wanted to protect the skin on my face. I did get a little tan. I'm kind of pasty white most of the time, but I did get a little color. So for nighttime moisturizing, I brought my Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream that came in an Ipsy. Couple of scrunchies that my daughter makes. She has a small business and I will list her Etsy down below. These scrunchies honestly are fabulous. I put them in my hair. I don't have super thick hair, but I put these in and I don't touch them. I wore these in my hair at the beach, put my ponytail through my hat. That's the other thing. When I was on the beach, I did wear a hat. Thank you, Mama, for telling me to bring a hat. You were right. And I did wear a hat every day on the beach, and my ponytail went through that. I wore that hat when I was boogie boarding in the water, on the beach, whatever. It really did help protect my skin. And the Lumi Warm Vanilla Deodorant, and this did great. I didn't have any issues with being stinky, and that's what you want from your deodorant, right? And then the last one was just kind of overflow. I had some Q-tips and this Frizz Ease, the John Frieda Frizz Ease. With it being hot and humid, I do get frizzy, and a little bit of this just sleeked over your hair and it kind of tames down those frizziness, and it was just too big to fit in my other one. So those were the toiletry items that I brought, and I just hung this in my bathroom and it stayed in there. It's very, very handy. As far as what I used or didn't use, I used all of this. And then when it's empty, you just store it like this. It's nice and flat. You can put it in a drawer, in your closet, whatever, and wait for the next trip. Okay, so now what most of you are here for. You want to know what makeup I took, and if I took it, did I use it? So let's get into it. One of the most important things that I did when I packed my makeup is I used bubble wrap on the bottom of my makeup bag, this one, and then I put my makeup in and I packed more bubble wrap on top so that nothing was really jiggling around. It was completely full and kind of pressed down. So I checked all of this, and it didn't matter if they were throwing my suitcase around or not because everything was secure in there and nothing broke. So I think it worked. So let's start with primer and work up from there. I brought the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer and the LA Girl Pro Prep High Definition Smoothing Face Primer, and I did use both of these. I didn't really use primer often. There were just a couple of times when we went out to dinner, or one day we were going to be going sightseeing all day in St. Augustine, and I did use the matte putty primer to help with the shininess from being out in that heat all day. And it did a great job. I took two foundations along. I took the Flower Beauty Light Illusion and the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. I actually didn't use this one, and the main reason was because it was too light for me. After the first day, I guess I did get a little bit of sun on my face, even though I didn't burn, and this was just a better color. Plus it went on a lot quicker than this one. I could just rub this in with my fingers, and that's all I needed. And later in the week, I kind of got to where I was just using powder. I didn't even bother putting on a foundation, especially if I was just putting makeup on to go out to dinner. For powder, I brought along the Maybelline Fit Me. I did use this. Blushes, I brought one cool blush and one warm blush. Wore them both. These are two of my favorite blushes, and honestly, I think if I only had two, it would probably be these two. The Milani blush in Luminoso and the Essence Mosaic blush in All You Need Is Pink. I think it's interesting to see the products that people take with them when they travel, because you have to give a lot of thought to products that will serve multiple functions. When you have all of your makeup inventory at hand, you can just pick and choose for every situation that you might come up with. But when you're traveling, you have to think ahead to what situations you might be in, look at the clothes you're bringing and see what kind of colors that you need to match the clothes that you're bringing, and then narrow things down because you don't want to take 10 blushes. At least I didn't want to take 10 blushes. I took one bronzer. I have a Laura Geller bronzer. It's called the Beach Matte Baked Hydrating Bronzer, and the color is Siesta Medium. And this is just a really good color for me. It's light and kind of cool, but not too cool, and just worked great. So one bronzer was all I needed. Highlighters, I brought three. I brought the OG Wet n Wild Blossom Glow, and yep, I've got some pan on that one. And when I did a cooler pink look, I used that one. I also brought the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in Be My Highlight for when I did a warmer, more coppery, golden kind of look. And I also brought the Flower Beauty Spotlight Primer. I only used this once, and I just didn't want the fussiness of a cream. It was just easier to swipe on the powder and be done with it. Because of our bathroom situation, I could shower in the bathroom and then I had to get out, but we didn't have mirrors in the bedrooms. So I had to use this mirror in my makeup kit right here, sitting on a table, and I had to hold it like this because there was nothing to hold it up in order to do my makeup. So it became a game of what is easiest and quickest that would give me the look I want. And of course, then I realized on the last day that the laundry room that you walk into, above the sink, there's a great big mirror that I could have been using all along. But that's okay, I made it work. For eye primer, I brought along the LA Girl Pro Primer, and I used this in my last video that I filmed before I went on vacation, where I was playing with some new makeup. I'll link that one down below if you want to see it. Really like this eye primer right now. I think this is my #1 favorite. While I was in Florida, the girls had a day where we went shopping, and I went into an Ulta, and I was trying to decide between the Juvia's Place and the NYX eye primer, and I ended up with the NYX, and I kind of wish I'd done the Juvia's Place because I thought this was going to be more pigmented and opaque than it is, and it's not. The other thing is somehow there's a hole in the packaging and there's eye primer that's squeezing out. I couldn't figure out why I was looking like I had foundation on my stuff in my makeup bag, and this was the problem. So I don't think the hole was there, but I don't know how it got there. So I don't know if it just split the edge or exactly what it is. But it's kind of a mess, and I don't really like it anyway. Okay, eyeshadow. I got some friend mail before I went on vacation from a wonderful person in Jen Phelps's makeup group. She had some makeup that she wanted to donate to the theater that I work for. She'd done some theater in college and asked if we could use it, and I said, yes, please. And so she sent me a package, and I plan on doing a friend mail video that I'm going to cover that more. But she also said that if there was something in there that I wanted for myself, it was okay for me to keep it. Well, there was the Sigma palette in there, and I don't have anything from Sigma. And when I opened it, I thought, oh, this is beautiful, and it would be perfect for my trip. So I kept this Sigma palette for myself in the items that were donated by Kimberly. And Kimberly, I want to say thank you so much. The items that you sent will be so helpful. Did use this. I use this a lot, probably more than anything. And it was a great companion palette to the e.l.f. Love You a Latte, because if you notice, this doesn't get super deep and it doesn't have a light bisque color in it. So the e.l.f. Love You a Latte palette solved both of those problems. And then I sometimes also brought in Orange Creamsicle to help with a little bit more shimmer or to make it a little warmer. I also used this combination by itself a lot, or even just this one. Used the shimmer, put it on my lid, and that was it. These three palettes probably got the most use. I did also use the e.l.f. Bite Size in Rose Water. And I like traveling with the e.l.f. Bite Size palettes because they're so inexpensive that if something happens to them, they're easily replaced, and they just work so well that I know that I'm going to get a good look out of them. I also brought along the Hot Jalapeno, and I did not use this one. I was much more interested in just lighter, more natural looks, and so this one, I just didn't use it. Oh, I forgot my concealer. I brought along the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer. This is actually almost gone, but I really like it because it's a lighter finish, but it has good pigmentation, and so you get good coverage, but it's not heavy. When you're using a tinted hydrator that is a lighter coverage foundation, I like using a lighter coverage, lighter finish, more radiant kind of concealer. These two go really well together. Eyeliners, brought along the LA Colors Auto Eyeliner in black, Wet n Wild Kohl Crayon in Simma Brown Now, Maybelline Lasting Drama Light Liner in gold, LA Girl Shockwave Metallic Liner in Lullaby. I like using these in the waterline and did use both of them. Actually used all 4 of these liners. I did not use the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Liner in Fresh. I just generally did much more of the kind of look that I have on now. Very neutral, very light, and just really wasn't playing with color a lot while I was there. The eyebrow pencil that I brought is the Revolution Pro Brow Designer or Define and Fill. I can't remember the exact name. I'll have it down below, in Ash Brown. This is right now my favorite, very favorite eyebrow pencil. The color's great, the formula's great, lasts great. I talked about it in that playing with new makeup video I mentioned earlier, and really, really like it. And I also brought the Essence Make Me Brow in Soft Brownie Brows. I use this all the time, really like it. And I think we're down to mascara. And this is where the horrible, awful, no good, very bad mascara comes into play. So one of the mascaras that I brought is the L'Oreal Voluminous Million Lashes XS. And this is fine. I have it in black. It has a silicone style kind of plastic bristles that they separate your lashes great. It's just not a very voluminous formula for having voluminous in the name. It gives a very natural lash, and it did not flake, it didn't smudge, but I didn't want to trust it if I was going to be in the water or going to be sweating a lot. So it was great to put on to go to dinner, and then we'd come back and hang out at the house, and then I'd take it off and go to bed. If we were on the beach, I didn't have any makeup on my face at all. So it wasn't tested very hard. And if you like a really natural lash, it did great. You can build it up a little, but I kind of like a little bit of a clumpy full lash, and this didn't give it to me. The massive fail was the L'Oreal Voluminous Waterproof. And this is in the carbon black. I wore this the day that we were going to St. Augustine because I knew we were going to be doing a lot of walking around. I was going to be sweating. It was very, very hot. And I thought this would be great that I wouldn't end up with mascara everywhere. But it didn't work out that way. This smudged so badly on my brow bones. I had a line of black on both eyes. It wasn't cute, and I did not use it again. Actually, when we got back that day, we took a little bit of time in the afternoon and went to the beach, and I took it off before I went to the beach because I had no confidence that it would actually hold up in the water. So this is going in the trash. If it works for you, that's awesome. It did not work for me, and I do have kind of oily eyelids. It was very hot. I was very sweaty, and I ended up with it everywhere. However, when I did that little shopping trip and went to Ulta, I decided to pick up a new waterproof mascara, and so I picked up the Essence Get Big Lashes Volume Boost Waterproof, and this did great. So it wasn't a complete bust. I actually did end up having a waterproof mascara when I needed it. So yeah, that one worked. The L'Oreal did not. I only took one setting spray, and that was the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. This has the best mister of any setting spray that I own, and I just really, really like it. I like the smell of it. It makes my makeup last all day, and it doesn't spit big globs on you when you spray it. It was very hard to narrow down which lip products I wanted to bring because I didn't want to bring everything, but I wanted to make sure that I had the color families that would go with whatever eye look I chose to wear. So I narrowed it down to 3 sets, and by a set I mean a lip liner, a lipstick, and a gloss. And the first one were in the pink tones, so I brought the LA Colors Auto Lip Liner, and this is pinky, and with that I used the AOA Velvet Lips in Reese and the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Moon. So that was the pink set. Then I had more of an orange kind of coral set, and I used the LA Colors Gel Lip Liner in Fetching, the Essence Semi-Matte Lipstick in Freaky, you see that one, and the e.l.f. Plumping Lip Gloss in Champagne, and if you can see, that one is almost gone. Then finally, I did more of a brownish nude, and I used the Believe Beauty Lip Liner in Barely There, the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon in Trust Your Gut, and the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Stone. So with those 9 lip products, which I know 9 lip products seems a lot, but it was a whole week, and I wanted to make sure the bases were covered for whatever eye look I chose to wear. I was able to do everything I needed to do with those 9 lip products, which makes me wonder why I have so many others. But variety is fun, right? And of course, I brought along an array of brushes so that I could put my makeup on the way that I'm comfortable doing it. Now, I did pick up one other product at Ulta, and I'm not going to tell you what it was, but I am going to tell you it's a powder foundation, and I'm going to do a review video on it. That will be the next one I film, so keep an eye out for that. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I upload new content and you won't miss the review on this new product. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give that like button a little tap. I will see you in my next video, and I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye-bye! And it's just been a great vacation. I love that sound.